Welcome to Authentic with Brazil 201, your future Golden Globe nominee. I'm Brazil 201, and today we're going to talk about Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. Now, full disclosure, I have not seen the finished version of this movie yet. I saw this movie months ago, so I'm finally allowed to talk about it because the reviews have dropped. So I do not know if the finished version got rid of my one issue with it. I am going to the red carpet premiere on Sunday in New York, so that should be fun, okay? So, from what I can remember, God, I have not seen this movie in months. The first 20 minutes, full spoilers, by the way. Full spoilers. This is full spoilers. We're gonna talk about the movie, okay? Full spoilers. Actually, I'll start first. I enjoyed the movie. Okay, now this was a test screening, so the version I saw was 3 hours and 30 minutes, and 22 minutes of it was a clip show type thing where it was just, like, playing back to previous movies, and not even, like, previous movies, but I mean to literally the movie that just came out 2 years ago with the train sequence and the key and the submarine blowing up and all the other fucking nonsense that happened in the previous movie was very like, "Here's what you missed on Glee." And that was the only issue, and I, like, said this to, like, the test screening people, that was my fundamental problem with Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. I loved it, though. I still listen, full spoilers, we're gonna talk about a lot of it here. Um, so this movie takes place 2 months after the last movie, okay? It takes place 2 months after the last movie. Somehow in the last 2 months, Luther has terminal cancer. Like, we find out he hasn't been with the team because, the whole thing, the AI is in all the technology, so he's kinda gone full analog. He has cancer or some type of cancer, and God, the evil dude, which I keep forgetting his name, Gabriel, right? He has no last name, just Gabriel, does the little thing again where it's like, "You're gonna have to choose, Ethan. Who are you gonna save? Are you gonna get me, or are you gonna save Luther?" Right? And Luther, because there's a nuke somehow with Luther, blows up. Very interesting how that part happens. So Luther dies like 15 minutes into the movie. Then the scene you see in the trailer with the Iron Man mask, the AI, the entity, right? That's what it's. God, I guess such a dumb thing. Keeps telling Ethan a possible timeline where all the nukes go off. So, by the way, in these 2 months, the nukes of all the countries have begun to get taken over by the entity, and it's not implied if the world knows what's going on that their governments are losing control of the nukes, but we see like a map everywhere of what places have lost their nukes so far to the entity. So like Russia, Iran, and God, I can't remember the order. I want to say Israel have lost control of their nukes. The United States is the last one that loses control of their nukes, right? The US and France, and I want to say not Russia, maybe somewhere else. But either way, that's the whole thing, is that once the entity takes control of all the nukes are gonna go off and everybody dies. Very Ultron in Age of Ultron. It's quite a choice. Well, this happens. Um, so then what happens is Ethan's team, his newfound IMF team, which is Grace, fucking I can't even remember. I don't even remember the name of Greg's character, but the dude who was running around with the cop that was chasing Ethan all in the last movie, like this, it's a lot of shit that happened. Benji and Paris are all teaming up together, by the way, right? They all got arrested, but escape again. And Ethan is dragged to this secret bunker analog thing with now President Kamala. I mean, yeah, basically it is a stand-in for Kamala Harris. Because once again, Angela Bassett is playing the first woman president. So basically, if you have seen Zero Day, Angela Bassett is here as president of the United States again, which is really confusing because now I don't know. Was Angela Bassett president in the seventh movie? Because we don't see who the president is. But congratulations. Since Kamala is never going to be president in real life or, a non white woman, no offense, let's be very realistic about this country. Angela Bassett is playing President, Kamala Harris. And we have God, wow. Nick Offerman is like a Secretary of Defense. He's like the Pete Hegseth type character. in this movie, and we still have, Eugene Kissinger, like, talking about the whole thing is that, we gotta either launch our nukes to the other nukes country so America doesn't blow up, or we have to shut down our nukes. Whole thing transpires on this. Then, the infamous line from the trailer happens. I need you to trust me one last time, right? And then Ethan gets an aircraft carrier and in Grand Theft Auto, it's the helicopter that can turn into a plane with the things, right? So he gets that, and he's flying over like the ocean, and he just jumps straight in, and he's like electrocuted by like these people who are in this top secret nuclear submarine base, right? And we meet, you know, Mr. Milchek, who is the captain of the submarine. And what's it called? Ethan has to send up flares via coded message so the entity isn't listening to the base, so that President Angela Bassett gets the notices that okay, Ethan's getting the job done. And Ethan doesn't know the general location of the sub. Remember, he has to find the submarine. And apparently, the AI is somehow taking over people's. This is another part that's happening in the movie. The AI is like taking over people's brains somehow, and he has a legion of worshippers. And someone on the submarine is like a loyal to the AI, and like Ethan has to fight him, and Ethan kills him. Okay, Ethan explains the plan to Mr. Milchek's Severance gang about what has to happen and how they have to find a secret submarine and all this. Now, on the opposite side of the world, his team, led by Haley Atwell, is in the snowy mission to find the person who could have the GPS location of this Russian submarine that was underwater. We find out that the guy who does is the CIA agent from the first Mission Impossible, and he still has the knife that Ethan left in the lab. And Russian people take over, and a bunch of other things happen. The place gets set on fire. The guy from the first movie writes the notes on it, like in a paper that he gives to his wife, and the wife and Haley Atwell leave to the location. They manage to Morse code it so Ethan gets it, and then they meet. They head to the location, right? And they have to dig out the ice so that Ethan can pop out after he gets the original source code. By the way, Ethan has not got the original source code yet. So two things are happening at the same time in this movie. I'm going by from memory from seeing this movie 4 months ago. Um, okay. The gang gets the coordinates, right? They send the coordinates in reverse because they know the Russians are listening. Ethan figures it out, and he's like, okay, and boom, he's like, oh wow, we're close. Okay. And a Russian submarine with nukes has been secretly following Mr. Milchek's nuclear submarine the entire time. Mr. Milchek says there's no way we can get you or stop. They're gonna know. And Ethan's like, nah, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. Um, God, this is hard to like recollect on a lot of the shit. Okay, yeah, Ethan gets the super state of the art scuba suit and everything, and he just jumps off the submarine like mid-flight, so no one notices it, right? And as the sub turns around, Ethan finds the sub, okay, and a whole sequence happens that's very fucking cool, where the submarine, um, no, wait, no, it's before he gets out. That's right. Oh yeah, Ethan has to break into the submarine. A bunch of things. Part of it's flooded. Other half is not flooded. Takes a while. It's like a 30-minute sequence. He gets the source code key thing. Then escaping, like there's an underwater earthquake and the submarine is about to collapse. Ethan's suit begins to get trapped and he has to take off the suit and still keep the key in and the source code and a bunch of the other things. And it seems like he's gonna die because he's at least 30 feet in without his scuba suit now, and he's in the freezing Antarctic water. And you're like, wow, he's gonna die or whatever. He comes up, and that's where the sequence in the trailer comes of Haley Atwell kissing Tom Cruise, wakes him up, and he's in this like hyper tent thing, so he doesn't get the bends and his head doesn't pop up. Whole thing, and the team is reunited. Right, everyone survived. Yay! Then they go to South Africa, which is the place where all the original source code thing is. I kind of forgot what happens, and this is my bad. I have not seen this movie in 4 months. Okay, and I believe I'm allowed to talk about it. By the way, I'm not releasing this until like fucking until Monday, so nobody yells at me. Like, yeah, because I don't know what the real rules are on this. So this episode will go up on like Monday if you're listening to it. It's a whole thing, but Gabriel, the planes. I can't really remember. The plane sequence that we see in the trailer happens, and that's like another 30-minute thing. While there's a separate sequence where Benji and the gang has to put the source code into this thing and upload it at the correct nanosecond time so that the original source code can kill the entity code that is taking over all the nukes. And the United States is the only nuke left, by the way, that hasn't been taken over, but it does get taken over, and it's a whole split second thing because um, Ethan also has something else has happened at the same time because while they do it, I do not know what happens. Oh God, it's hard to remember. I enjoyed the movie. I just want to say that. I do not like it's at 88% now on Rotten Tomatoes. It's very long. A lot of it could probably be cut. I enjoyed the 4 long pieces. It is I just want to say this is the Avengers Endgame of the Mission Impossible movies because it ties up the previous 7 movies fairly well. And I think we could get another one. I just don't know how you top the world almost getting, destroyed by nuclear bombs all over. It's very Paradise Episode 7, right? Where like all the nukes launch and President Cal has to like do an EMP to stop the nukes. It's like that is basically what happens in this movie towards the end. I enjoyed it. I like the team. There's no anything like that's really what happens. That's it.